Hello everyone, welcome to Forex Black Box channel. I'm going to analyze gold and pound pairs across the board, except Swiss, but we'll see how it go. So guys, we let's start it. That's gold, USD. Looking at the daily at the moment. Last week I talked about is going to make a new low, which he did indeed. If you didn't watch my video previous week, please go back and watch it. It was the first 10 minutes of my video. At the moment, I can look at here and I can see that price action showing its hand here, and we have kind of 2 days back-to-back spikes. As you can see from here, if I just simply use basic price action, and if I can touch this as well, I can make one trend line here, then I take the second one here, then we can see the trend start to angle down, and it did touch this area. If you look back in time, obviously it's a new high since a very long time back there. However, I'm looking for this to touch down to this area here. Let me get a box. That will be my target if I'm shorting from here. If anyone else is shorting from here, that will be my target to go down this direction. As I can tell you from here, we normally do price action, high, high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Since we have NFP and Thursday we had some US news pushed the gold up out of the consolidation area down to the time frame to, if I go back to 4 hours, actually it was on 1 hour, that box here, this area, this is high for this low, consolidate, make one spike down, 2, 3, then come back up here and come back down, make a higher low, then break higher. Obviously this move itself, it was a gapped up on my terminal, and you're not gonna catch it. It will be up there, and by the time you want to get in, probably will pull back down and take you out, stop and continue its way up. So this kind of spike up, it's really not recommended to trade because it's gonna eat your money really. So I expect it to go down anyway. Don't expect the gold to go up. It's good to go up from certain level to short it back again. I'm not. I don't trade gold for a very long time. I started trade it a few months back, so I'm kind of studying it still. I need to do some more back testing and see what the behavior and make a kind of profile for it, like bound pairs. I don't just trade it out of the nowhere bound pairs. I study it. I did a lot of back testing and I did a lot of trading and years and experience. So for me, gold is kind of new entity. So I'm trying to understand it more and its behavior. What kind of connection involve gold to move? Well, so far, all I know that is gold. Sometime it got its own beds, safe haven connected to stock risk off as yen. And what else? It's trading against dollar. If there's nothing on this list has been triggered, if any news of the dollar, obviously is going to affect gold as well. In downtrend, it's strength of dollar, weakness of a stock. In uptrend, it's of risk off. Stock is off. The stock is down, and weakness of dollar. Regardless of weakness of dollar, sometimes the gold is actually doesn't correlate with dollar yen, for example. So we back in the days we say if the dollar yen is down, gold is strong. Yen is strong, stock is weak. Since the stock is weak, obviously it's risk off. That's mean gold too. All the money fly back to the safe haven, yen gold. So far, we are starting our move down trend. I looked at the daily and weekly. Weekly, as I can tell you here, we are almost touched the 61% from the big move, and we break the 50% and we come back up. So at this point, we can see kind of like brass rejected here, but I think it's going to continue well to way down because you need to kind of give some discount for people to buy gold again. My first target to meet here at this 38%, which is 137. I'm probably going to go the extra bit to 135, my target. On mark 135 at this area exactly, that's my target. And I trade it long term. I don't in and out every day because it's quite volatile. So if I get a nice area to trade and can see some kind of price action to push it down, I will jump in and let it run. Even if you come back up here, it's fine. It's a long-term investment. Moving on. Silver, same story, but not exact same story. Silver is still kind of under is a project I'm working on, and it's not ready yet. When it's ready, I will be analyze it with the rest of the bears. Okay, my favorite bears coming up. Um, Pound USD. As you can see that we are on a downtrend move. We have this move here. It looks similar to this one. Then it come back down here and spike back up and continue its way down for new low. It's a fake out break. If someone buying from here, you waiting for it to go all the way up here. It didn't. He's actually break his stop loss here. If you leave it for days, the same story here. 1 2 good days, then come down, take all the stop losses and continue up. So maybe we can have the same story here, but here it's a different story. Here we are in the middle of so many support and resistance. We're kind of like on the edge, not exactly, but maybe really very deep down there. There will go some kind of price action here. We can kind of respect this area and continue and start to play a little bit here for a few months, then break down. And we are at the bottom here. This area, I can tell you, as I did say, I mentioned before in my previous videos, this area is quite important for investor and banks and basically everyone because this is the lowest low ever. Uh, Bridge band with the USD and this kind of defense area, like a big wall here of investor banks, Bank of England, and all the stuffs. Because if that go low and low and low, unless we have a bad news, that was going to affect the economy and the banks and the value of pound, and it's going to really affect everything else in the country. And I did mention that this is a very nice area. If that go up here and try to do the same story as it did here, as you can see, history repeats itself. We went up to this area, come back down, we break the high, and we start to make a new trend down. Same story here, come up, come down, take everyone out, and continue up and coming back down. But it's gonna break the high, and it's gonna do the same story unless we have a positive news of Brexit, which we do. I'm talking today is the 4th of October, just 1 hour before the market close at 9:15 p.m. UK time. And before that, about a few hours back, we heard a lot of news of Brexit deal. It was not acceptable and that had been rejected from the European Union. However, after just like 15 to no like an hour or two, sorry actually, hour or two, the Boris Johnson said that he intended to ask for 3 months time to to have extra time. We're not going to leave in 31st of October. He did only say that is not in action yet. So I expect next week is going to be I expect it next week to be really interesting. Overall, I'm long buyers on bound, all bound pairs except a few. Um, let's drill down to the daily. The last time I talked last week last weekend, I said that it's gonna play around this area, and it was 50, 61%. I moved it from here to 61% or 50% or 61%. I'm not sure, but as you can see, it went all the way down to 61%, and now it started showing some kind of price action to go back up there. So we had some kind of news in the last few days. As you can see, that's the channel. We're moving inside this channel. So 61% meeting this channel bottom, and we looking to go up to this area. If you're not gonna meet this area yet here, probably kind of play a little bit here, see what Brexit uncertainty and so on. But overall, for me, I started buy from this week, from these lows, this high. I started buy from this area, and it went down more, and I started buy more and more. So I'm looking for it to continue and break this high. I got some TBs at these highs for uncertainty because it's gonna play here, like here exactly. No, exactly closer to this price action. Green day, red, green, red, green, red, red, green. Then you're gonna see kind of break out of this consolidation area. Market will move in direction. Take some time to rest and see what kind of news or what else need to be done next. At this moment, we are at the bottom of the currency, the pairs itself. For we never had this low before since I don't know 1950 or I don't know. I can't tell you exact which year it is, but that's the lowest lows we ever have on Bound USD, and that's why we have some kind of interest here. A lot of investors to leave their money to run, and that's basically wave one, wave two, and 8 waves. I'm looking for wave three to kind of play up here, make 5 waves, 2 waves, then break higher, 5 waves, 2 wave, 5 wave, 2 waves on the small time frames up to this 1618 Fibonacci, and it will meet me. It will meet up to this area and this low. Between this low and this high, if I do up to here, probably it's gonna come back here and kind of touch it and start to play, start to go slowly, few waves down inside the small time frame. Then by surprise, we'll break higher with any kind of news, come back down again, do some waves, and still inside this channel. So that's my view. You're gonna stay inside this channel itself. It's been clear. That's the bottom. Point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4 up here, point 5, 6, and so on and so forth. See how much that wave will continue? Exactly like the wave down here. It will deaccelerate and accelerate. This one is accelerating all the way down, then it start deaccelerating back and change direction. And if you start accelerating, we're gonna see kind of move up as this one. Let me just draw it quickly. Um, you kind of start to move like here, few waves, then sorry, my drawing is horrible. Let me start over. Go up, come down here, go up again, come down, go up again, come down, or go up again. And instead of this touching here anymore, we will start to see kind of acceleration on the trend line. And the next one is going to be a little bit accelerated up the strong momentum to the top. That's how you know that we are in the right direction, and we can leave it over the weekend, we can whatever. Just the same story here. We have a wave start to go down, then deaccelerate and start to make another point, and we have 2 point to measure, then accelerate all the way down without any test, and just to come sideways here, this box, and as soon as it start to come to the same angle of this one, it start to accelerate back down, and we have second trend line. And since we broke this two, it was one here, um, yeah, one, I think it was two here, I don't remember exactly, two, and that's the third one we need to break. We are kind of went down again, deaccelerate, and moving back up. Hopefully we're gonna break this one by next week, because if you're gonna have 3 months to do election and referendum, the high probability you're gonna do for referendum. That's another thing from the fundamental. So if we're gonna do referendum, pound USD, it will be around 135, possibly 140, 145. It will be back, as I said in my last video, by not exactly by October, by the end of October, but it's not going to be up here in one day. Um, I can tell you that before we close the market today, the after this news, the pound start to move slowly, but it's just sneaking up, and the bait's on quite very well. So I have a few trades already open long across pound pairs, and I've been long since whole week. I didn't short really much. Just keeping my long. I know that went against me, some is still in profit, but I'm still looking for the big move, and that's the discipline of trading. The discipline is to keep your trading open for high probability, since everything is meet your requirement to keep your trade open, then you stick to it. That's the discipline. Because if you exit and after that moves another 250 bips, and every time you move 100 bip, you kind of like, oh, bull back, it doesn't want to bull back anymore, and you scared that to take the risk and buy it from the top. So that's the thing. So there's a two type of trading. Intraday, you're looking for 25 pips to 50 to 100 if the high speed pairs, or you look for long term. So long term, you leave it there. You make sure that you did all your homework, and that's the way to go. It doesn't matter if you go against you have your stop loss in place, you have your mental stop loss or physical stop loss. It depends how many times did you do that before, and how many times you've been successful in that direction. So as I said, I'm expecting the bound to go up to 130. I'm just going to take it pieces. So that's my exit. The first exit will be at 1618. 1618. It will be around 128, 129 probably. It's going to go a little bit extra. If it's really, really interesting news and bound pair itself start increasing value, is going to continue even higher to 130 first. Then we'll come back for a bit, like maybe 150 bips back, then continue to way up because quite strong. We are wave one, wave two, wave three is gonna be big wave, so maybe 130 straight away. So just get ready for it. Moving on to the next pair. Excuse me. Same story. All pound pairs is gonna do the same thing. It depends each pair what it does. As you can see here, we have let's go to the daily. As you can see, the price action from here is quite small. Everything is just to open and close nearly to the opening, and the majority is down after this week. And we have all red except a couple of dodges, and they cannot hold the price. That's all about Brexit and uncertainty and so on, and the yen as well getting strong. That's why we don't have the same as um, pound USD. Pound USD, it was a little bit strong last couple of days because dollar was weak. But here yen it was strong a little bit. That's why we don't have the same size of price action. So as you can see today, the market is still running. I just want to do that quickly before the market close. So I'm tomorrow kind of busy. This weekend I'm kind of busy, and also I'm guys going to be in holidays for 2 weeks. So maybe I'm not going to be able to do any videos for the coming 2 weekends. So I will be returned back on the 21st. Maybe I will do on Monday one video, but we will see. I will be abroad and I'm not going to be able to record and do what I'm doing here. So the same story here. We stopped at right on almost 50. If I do this correctly, probably some kind of something wrong here. Not exactly on the right spot, probably. Yeah. Well, I think we just almost touched the 50s. Doesn't have to be exact. So we're just 1.1% left. By the way, I think that's the U-turn area. You can come up here. You can come back up there Monday and start doing this. If not, we start to do this news, strong news of Brexit. I don't think we're going to have any bad news because then the only option available now is the 3 months extra we're going to need. And Boris Johnson, by law or by no choice, not his choice, is the parliament to ask for time to sort out Brexit. I don't think he wanted to go down here. If he wanted to go down a little bit, because the string of yen probably going to spike to 61% and start to make its way up. But to continue all the way down here, I don't think so because now, if you look back in history of pound, the Brexit and the extra time we have since we left Europe, every time we have a good news of, every time we have some time of Brexit, we're gonna see the pound is getting excited and start to move up. Somewhere Theresa May, where somewhere here like Theresa May, and she started to talk about that, about Brexit and the deals and stuff. Pound getting excited and get up. Even from here, that's this move, result of the parliament did make this kind of law for Boris Johnson not to take us without no deal. That's the move of it. And now Boris Johnson just to make a deal, and Europe reuse that deal, say it's a ridiculous deal and is not acceptable. Then I think that's we're gonna have the same move here happen again. Obviously, it's Friday, it's dry liquidity. It was NFP week Friday as well. So I'm waiting for next week to see more action on bound pairs. Same story here. Aussie getting strong and pound getting weak this week. So I can tell you from here that is still indecision sideways. As I said before, that's indecision plus Aussie getting a little bit strong today because of stock get some bait back up. So Aussie getting strong. Yen getting weaker a little bit halfway through. Before the NFP, it was strong. After the NFP, get a little bit of strength. Then I think he lost it a little bit now. So not sure. But this bear he traded wisely because it's connected to stock. So the US stock. I'm not long at this bear at the moment. I'm just leaving it on the side now. I've got a few, my handful with pound USD, pound yen, and what else I have? Gold and New Zealand, pound New Zealand. I'm quite busy, so I don't want to put more bids on bound at the moment, so I'm waiting for it to complete. Then I will be looking to see how's Aussie doing. I'll just give it some time to give me some direction. But normally the direction is going to be up. But don't forget this pair itself. We are on uptrend. We didn't go down like the rest of the bears, so that's telling you, that indicating that Aussie is really weak. Because if he's always strong a little bit more than pound, then we'll be trading at this area instead. But it's connected to the stock, and stock was risk off so many times. Okay, guys, moving on. Next, New Zealand. I was short in New Zealand and I exit here. Then I kind of longed here, I think. Not sure last week what I did exactly. And I did short it and I exit just at these lows. I didn't see today the rest of the move, but I was expecting Bound to be stronger. I know New Zealand is stronger, but if Bound gets on a string, we're gonna see it up there again. So I expect that would want to be continue the trend up. Last time I talked about, I remember last time I talked to the, we can say correction B, C, A, B, C up there. So we're gonna see next week continue up here, come back, redo wave in that form. So if we are here, Monday will open, retest and break higher, retest and break higher, and so on and so forth. We'll continue our way up here at this level, hopefully, and I will be trading it again on Monday, either in Asia or London Open. So yeah, that's my view on pound New Zealand. Let's move on next. Pound CAD getting weaker, and that's why we see it is up here. For me, it's good. I like pound CAD very well. very much. Sorry, very much, but I didn't trade it this week because of the oil situation. Oil getting really weak. Not sure why, but I'm looking forward to trade it up this area, above this area. If break this area here, I wanted to see it up there, and I will test it between this area. Then I will see what the breakout, and I'm looking forward to trade it up to this area. That's not Brexit, isn't it? So look to the weekly. That's the Brexit high. That's the Brexit low. So we are actually still below the Brexit low. That's mean CAD really was stronger than the rest of the bears. So I'm looking for it to come back up here and play inside this channel. Let's see. I'm not in a hurry to trade it. I just wanted to be coming up here, show me some more direction. Then I will be trading inside this channel itself. And this channel, maybe 2-3 years to trade it inside this area. Lower time frame, obviously, you need to look for entries and so on. Moving on. I don't trade this one. I'll escape it. Same is going with pound pairs. Um, Euro, pound. I expected this pullback. It didn't come up to this week. It started, as you can see, the price action showing some wicks, spike, one red, green. That's the weakness of pound. That's why. However, euro was weaker than pound. Unexpected next week it will continue to weigh down as long as we're going to break this trend line. If we can break this, you can see we kind of start making tops. Do two tops today. I was watching it and I'm short already. I'm looking for it to come retest this area. I wanted to break this and it started making its way down to here. Do this, break, come back, and start to play a little bit and started doing that stuff. Probably come back, retest this area and continue to way down. That's what I'm looking for next week and the following weeks. I will be on holidays as I mentioned, but I will be still trading, managing my trades, the open trades, but I'm not going to be able to make video. Uh, if you go that, we look into daily anyway, so I'm not interested to go lower than that. And 4 hours, all stuff you have to kind of find out by yourself. As you can see, fake breakout and come back down. Probably Monday is going to be outside this trend line and kind of do similar fashion fake out and maybe he's going to do another top. We will see how it go, but it's direction down now. That's a nice pullback to short it. The trend is down, as you can see, to 3 with 4 and with 5 will be below there around this area. This below line is got a lot of support and resistance down there. Moving on. Euro USD. As I mentioned before, that's a big trend line on the weekly. We kind of have hovered above it and we broke, fake out, and we continue make a head and shoulder pattern, and we kind of went down to do the same scenario here without the same consolidation for a long time, but it just went through it and it still wanted to go up, I believe. But let's see how Euro doing. How is Europe doing? Just get closer and closer. So I keep jumping things. Let's go to the daily. As you can see, this is really miss. No one really, I don't really trade it much, but I know there's a few people trading it from the top here and they just feed on the swaps because it's positive. Long in it, really not much people interested to Europe, especially Europe economy is really not really great. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. On 5 days, the most you can get out of it, 118 pips, 120 pips the whole month if you get it right. If you didn't get it right, you're probably gonna get like 30, 40% of this money. I talk about 50 pips. So it's not really worth it to trade it. But if you are short from here, if you short from in all this spike area, from this trend line, come back and start to break lower. If you short from here, let's see how many days. 72 days up to this low. From this high to this low, it's about over 3 months. And if you have 40 lots on it, probably get a very good swaps every single day, tripled or every weekend, every Wednesday is really good. You don't have to trade the pips. It's 370 pips, so you get 370 pips after three months, plus the swaps every day. And if you have 40 or 50 lots open, that was gonna be like 1,000 pips across after it's finished. You know what I mean? So that's the way to trade Euro USD, the famous the number one pairs to be traded across the world. But I guess that's the best way to trade it, not to trade the pips. I think I'm done here, guys. I'm not gonna talk about the news. Probably the news next week. Next week, let's see what's going on next week. Uh, okay, US, Yen, China is what's that? Nothing. Okay, UK in 3 days after next week. Next week, Canada. Okay, doesn't look very much. Nothing very interesting except a few things. US yen is all medium and low. Um, UK has got some news this week, next week. Let's see. Obviously, Brexit is going to be the key driver of the pair itself, the currency. So yeah, I will be focused on yen pairs and pound because Carney want to speak, Bank of England, and yeah, it's really not very high impact news, not very much. So I'm not gonna be worried. I'll be in holidays, but I'm not gonna be worried really. So okay, guys, thanks for viewing my video, and don't forget to join Financial Juice. They're amazing. They are free. They offer live news, real-time news, and let me just quickly look here. You can read what they offer here and so on and so forth. So you go there, register is free, and yeah, it's free products. Why not? It's they're quite reliable and so on. Okay, guys, thanks very much. You have a wonderful weekend and week ahead of trading and trade wisely. Money management is key, and the price action is very important to understand because it's all about price action and where you want to put your money and which time and on which pairs. It's quite important, not any pairs. So I hope they've been helpful and informative for you guys. Thanks very much. And please subscribe, like, and leave a comment or anything or any question you want. Thanks, guys. Great weekend. Bye.